right. I just want to start today. I'm really excited to be here with Damien and Vic, and I have some really exciting news to share. They have just announced, and I'm so happy that I can do this, a merger between PHM, People Health Matters, and Oyster Care. This is a really exciting merger that will create lots of opportunity, and I can't wait to just ask a whole bunch of questions, and yeah, I'm sure I'm going to get great answers. So maybe the very first question that I would like to have for you guys is well, first of all, I guess what most people would wonder is why did you decide to do this merger?
Was it go for my turn? Or?
Yeah, I know.
I guess it's a case of like working out who's doing what better and who's going to take things come better. And I guess the decision was that we would sort of look for an organisation. The organisation found us, and all those things through Oyster Care that we found that let's partner up with these guys. And you know, and it is coming together is better in a way of moving forward than by yourself and all the rest of it. So and I guess we've had plenty of conversations over this period, haven't we? You know, and I guess making sure that we align together and the values and all the rest of it too. Because I guess in the Sydney, last time I sort of checked too with the stats in the Sydney Metro alone, there's about 3,500 providers. So finding those who actually come together and align and with their values and all the rest of it is obviously hard. And we've just come together and we found that this is going to be beneficial to our participants, external stakeholders like support coordinators, and most importantly our staff as well, right? So,
How do you see that, Vic? You second that as well?
100%. You know, like Damien said, you know, the merger of the two organizations. We had a chat initially, I guess, and you know, I felt his vibe. I'm pretty sure he felt my vibe. I felt his energy. I'm pretty sure he felt mine, and we kind of have the same vision, not for immediacy, but in the future. We had same goals. So we thought, well, this would be a great, I guess, coming together of organizations. You know, some of the things that you struggle with, he was struggling with, and we were struggling with the same things. You know, people, for one, you know, if you want to scale with an organization or grow, you can find people, but finding the right people is a challenge. And he had a lot of those in his organization, and we had a lot of those in our organization. And getting those to bunch of people together to deliver a far better and greater outcome for our participants, and of course our support workers on the ground is an amazing result. I think we were not there as yet, but I think it's a great first step.
It sounds like you both see a lot of benefits, and you're really excited about this merger, which is really great to see that you guys have this positive attitude towards it. I guess for a lot of business owners, you know, establishing the trust between your businesses and getting to know how, you know, because before this I can imagine they're also partly competing potentially on businesses. How were you guys able to establish that trust together and work in such a positive, collaborative way as you are now?
I think from a Oyster Care perspective, prior to meeting Damien and PHM Health, we always looked at other providers as collaborative, not as competitive, because we're all out there trying to deliver the same outcome. And when we get together and we share ideas and share resources, the outcome for the participant invariably is much better. So we were always in that mode. It was just, I guess, finding the right partner that wasn't allowing us to grow bigger. And with PHM Health, I think we did.
It's amazing.
And
is it the same?
Yeah, very much so. And just realising combining two organisations can achieve a lot more in a lot quicker time too.
No, that's awesome. And so I think you've already touched upon it a little bit in your answers, but how do you see, let's say, from the strategic goals that you have now that you're in a merger, has that changed and the goal setting you have for like the long term?
I don't think anything's like specifically changed from either organization. What's it given us is the ability to take. It's the ability to take that leap and take that leap faster, quicker, and in a lot more efficient and successful manner. I think that's the main change, if anything, and that's a good change because we couldn't do it otherwise.
That's right, and for us, it's about tapping into existing resource networks that these guys have, and they too tap into ours. and it just delivers a lot more positive service a lot quicker as well. So, and I guess that's the big thing with participants and families and stakeholders. They want that quick results as well.
Yeah.
So we're just reflecting on those sorts of things as well.
Yeah. And have you, I'm just curious to touch upon that. So since you've had the merger, has there been, say, first benefits? Have you seen first benefits play out in terms of the workforce, the reaction from the workforce towards it?
Yep. Everyone stayed. That's the first thing.
Yes.
Secondly,
oh, that's amazing.
Yep. So the second thing is they're all got an energised buzz about it, and this is in sort of the PHM health side of stuff. And I guess from your side of view,
yeah, it's kind of the same. I think everyone's sort of looking forward about in terms of what's next and what are we doing and where we're going, and there's like a buzz and excitement across both organisations because not everybody knows everything right now because we're so early in the merger phase. So it is like a real buzz and a sense of urgency, and can I do this? Can I do that? Can I help? So that kind of culture that seems to be forming behind the merger, which is very, very, very good news and encouraging for us.
So since you've had the merger, has it changed in terms of the areas you're able to service in Australia?
Absolutely. We're looking Australia-wide.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's what it means for us.
Yeah.
And for you guys as well.
Yeah. I think we had within the organisation lots of runs on the board as far as regional Australia is concerned and as far as metro Australia is concerned. We're now combining those. We're taking all the good parts between both those two things, and we're going to expand national. We have at the moment, I would say, somewhere in the vicinity of 150 plus participants that we're looking after actively, and a support pool of some 400 plus. So it's a huge organisation, and obviously it's only going to get bigger and bigger as we branch out to other areas within Australia.
And to add to that quickly as well, it's not necessarily the amount of participants, it's the hours of care that we deliver.
Correct.
So we're looking about potentially about 15,000 to between 25,000 of hours of care. So if you look at that and how much capacity we're going to service and all the rest of it, and that's really important, I guess, from a system point of view and participant point of view.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. So I mean, that sounds like there's a lot of benefits from the areas you're able to service and the organization that you now have. So since you've had this merger, have you discussed together already what's the next steps? Like, what are your long-term plans as an organization? Now you have that stronger foundation.
Yeah, look, we're taking that honesty chat because that's the starting ground of just working out who's doing what and where, and with that foundation allows you guys to sort of proceed on.
So it's to scale, I guess. We're in the phase of scaling up, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to take some of the learnings out of Oyster Care as far as supported independent living is concerned, specialized disability accommodation is concerned, and we're going to expand that. It's one of the great, I guess.
So we've touched upon a few things. I would love to understand. So from you, Damien, maybe to start, what is the biggest opportunity that you see emerging from this merger?
To reach more participants with complex needs, and also through that exploration and defining moments allows us to touch in areas that maybe need to be touched in as well. So be able to explore areas like niching areas and things like that are underserviced, and being able to sort of come up with innovative best practice and exciting sort of programs within the current constraints of the NDIS. So we'll go beyond that as well. And that's the best thing too, that Oyster Care does have a larger pool of other organisations working together. So that's a step further.
And how about you, Nick? Vic, do you see it the same way?
Yeah, 100%. I think what Damien touched on towards the end there in terms of his take on things was, Oyster Care has access to a larger pool of organisations around financial management, around, I guess, closing the gap as far as understanding and delivering some of the UN goals are concerned in Australia, and of course, obviously, closing the gap as far as Aboriginal people are concerned. We have partnerships with some great organisations that are doing and helping move forward in this regard.
Yeah, we've talked about benefits of merger. I would love to understand, now that you have joined forces, what are some of the challenges you're able to address that you couldn't previously? Maybe to start with you, Vic.
Yeah, sure. I mean, challenges and opportunities are in everyday part of life. It's the opportunity part that we actually take and run with it. I think one of the things that we've discovered in our industry is the lack of support participants have when they actually want to start their plan. There is zero advocacy around that, and I think that's something that we will become very strong at in terms of helping them get plan together and get it through the NDIS. And I think the other thing that we've discovered as the course of our history is there's a lot of participants actually run out of funding before the plan ended. And what does that mean? There's a huge gap between the supports they need and the funding they receive. And that's something that we want to look at very actively and try and help our participants in bridging that gap. So I think those are the two opportunities from this organizational perspective that we see that we can really make a difference in the participants' life.
It sounds really exciting. I would love to know also from you, Damien. So, in terms of what does the merger mean for support coordinators? What message would you have for them?
Yeah, simply put, it means that further support for them. And what I mean by that is that they're advocating on, well, not advocating, but I guess supporting participants constantly through plans and making sure that their funding doesn't run out, and trying to attract new services. It means that they can have like a one-stop ecosystem that goes on, and through that now is that both organisations will have a capacity to provide, reports to increase funding for participants and things like that as well. And if they need support as well for themselves, hey, I need this or need to bounce ideas, then a larger pool of people. And a classic one has been like when they're, when they need that support themselves, they just come along and put the phone and off they go. All this means with two organisations that come together is that all staff and participants and stakeholders get a nice feel going forward.
Yep.
And you've been in this industry for some time, and so have I, and I guess we've seen all the ups and downs and all the rest of it. It's just nice to be able to sort of go, Vic, what do you reckon about this particular participant? Or we can then go up and talk like big strategy sort of stuff, big policies that will drive everyone's life underneath it anyway. So I feel both of us coming together and supporting all that together makes it better.
Damien, Vic, it was really a pleasure to interview you. I have still 1,000 questions, but I have to wrap it up. So I want to ask you one last question. If you think about very long term, like 5-10 years, how would you, as an organization, now that you've come together, you're stronger together, how would you like to be remembered? Maybe I can start with you, Vic.
Yeah, we actually want to leave a legacy behind. We want everybody to look back and say, well, that's the organization that started this, and that's the organization that we look at in terms of what Damien touched on before, best practice. This is how we do things, and this is how we deliver good, strong, tangible community outcomes. And I think how you are remembered in the community is what is the legacy that I actually want to leave behind. I'm pretty sure Damien's lined up that way, but I'll let him answer for himself.
Just to do good, do better, really. That's really,
Thank you both for your time. It was a pleasure talking with you, and hope we can talk to you again.
Thank you.